Welcome to part 19 of Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. In this part we are going to start the Temple of Gods. But before we start and go any further, let me point out that while here, you will be riding on the King of Red Lions to get from point A to point B, because there is water here obviously, and you're going to need a boat. That's one thing Wind Waker should have had, a floaty. You know, because Link can't swim. Anyway, just simply use the cannon to blow up the walls, and that will save a lot of time on one specific step. Hold on, let me try to position the cannon, because the cannon's going every way except for where I want it to go, and that was in front. Not in front, but rather on the side here. Come on, man. Move this thing a little bit further. By the way, if you're trying to get close to the doors, you gotta be careful, because there we go. The water that is spilling out of that one passageway is constantly... Wrong thing. Thank you. Let's put away the cannon for now. But as I was saying, the water that's coming out of this pathway is not only blocking your path from the rest of the temple, but also is doing the best it can to push you out to the entrance, which is kind of messed up. Now, normally people would actually try to use the sail here in the Tower of Gods. Me, I'm going to tell you no, because there is no wind current here in the Tower of Gods. This is actually an interesting temple, and I was trying to make it to the door and I got caught. Damn it. Now I'm going to have to wait for the water to rise down. It's going to be a reoccurring thing in this temple, that's for damn sure. Anyway, while this temple is interesting, as it being the first temple, you can actually bring the King of Red Lions in to do some puzzle solving. And also, kill the yellow choo-choos by using the boomerang and also your sword. I will say that the yellow choo-choos are one of the more dangerous versions of the choo-choos, because they tend to electrocute you, and the worst part is there's water here. They'll definitely do more damage to you while you're swimming as well. So yeah, there's that. Oh, I don't think they will do more damage, I'm not sure. But I know for a fact that they will tend to knock you off of whatever platform you're on, because they jump into you, and it's harder to kill them conventionally with a sword, and I just blew myself into the water. That was so dumb. That was so dumb for real. Funny thing is, go to, because this is where the map is. And I apologize for, you know, the slowdown. I'm just making sure the slowdown's not too bad, and if you hear my commentary speed up accidentally, that's because of the game's rendering, not the actual capture card. It tends to happen a lot with Legend of the game. It gets bothersome. And of course, as soon as I get the map, before I can leave, I run into a lot of yellow choo-choos. So yeah, I'm not going to be sticking around here making you watch this, although I will be planning a bomb here. Well, because I can. I think there's a treasure chest in there that has a joy pendant. I'm not sure. But I honestly don't need it. I can actually find joy pendants on my own. So anyway, I'll come back when I'm done with these yellow choo-choo. Those yellow choo-choo, by the way, are freaking annoying. I had to try to fight these damn things off while the water was flooded. And while the water was not flooded either. But the water kept rising faster than what I can actually kill off the choo-choo, so it took me a little longer than necessary. That's why I cut it out. Because again, it was unnecessary filler. I didn't have to face the choo-choo, But they kept knocking me away from the door, so I figured, fuck it, I'll just kill them and then just go on my merry way. But right now we're going to go to the next room, which will lead to a statue that we're going to need to activate not only that section over there, which will give us a key to the other side, which we just blasted a hole in the wall to, but we're also going to need the other side so we can get another statue so we can have the middle section stop pouring water randomly. I mean, that middle section is going to continually pour water, but the middle part that's spouting the water right now... Oh, by the way, this is how you open the door. You basically use a Armos Knight in order, or so it's an Armos, to hold down switch so you'll be able to get into the door. But as I was saying, you also need to get a key from the other side, because the other side actually has a it has another statue which will unlock the doors so that you get into the middle, because the middle section is flooded while the other two sections are not. And now we also come to this area, which of course you need to set a block to a position a block. Come on, grab it over to this switch here, which would make this rainbow bridge. However, every time you do, there will be times when the water rises up, which will take the block off of the rainbow switch. I mean, a rainbow bridge switch, sorry. Now, all we need to do is just hurry up and get to this pedestal here. By the way, if you do happen to fall in water with that thing, it'll reset back to where it was. Just want to point that out to you, because that's going to be a reoccurring thing if you happen to drop any sort of sacred pedestals or statues in this stage. And it can be rather annoying. Now, all you have to do is, again, wait for the block to land on the switch, and take the switch out the door. Take the switch out the door. I mean, the Tower of Gods is an interesting puzzle. It can be long if you didn't know what you're doing. Now, here is one other thing I want to point out. For some reason, because Screw Attack pretty much ran out of some sort of inspiration, or is it their opinion of the two, they decided to put the Great Sea as the worst water level of all time. Even though they also have the Water Temple on the same list, which is counterproductive. I can assure you, while the Great Sea does have its fair share of hazards, you know, the cyclones, the big octos, the fact that Gyord keeps knocking you off of the boat, or the big octos, or the peahens. Seriously, I hate peahens. The Great Sea is nowhere near as bad as Great Bay Temple. That temple sucks. It is the worst temple in the series. It takes too damn long. But the worst part about that temple is, and I can attest to this, the Great Bay Temple literally takes up one of your days to complete. Meaning you will have to buy at least 2 bottles of Chateau Romani in order for you to beat it. That's if you know what you're doing. By the way, Chateau Romani is basically milk, which is alcohol. However, it's alcohol that will give you a permanent, well, actually a temporarily boost in magic, and it will have it to where you will not lose out on magic until the end of the day. Now, we've come to this puzzle here, And this puzzle is... how should I put this? You have to push the blocks in a certain way in order for you to get across with a torch to light the torches here to get the key for the other side of the room, which I blasted open earlier in this part. It can be tedious because of the fact that while you're doing this, the water is rising and lowering. And sometimes, for some reason, my controller tends to have a mind of its own and not grab things. And no, I'm not making it look like I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes my controller have a mind of its own and will not actually, or more along the lines of, the grab prompt doesn't show up also. And it gets really aggravating, as you can see here. There was times that the grab prompt did not show up. Why am I pulling that? I'm supposed to push it. But they position the blocks in a way where I'm going to have to push them 2 by 2 by 1, so that way they'll be able to, so that way Link will be able to cross the bridge. But the problem is, again, it's not me, rather it's the blocks themselves. And also the fact that the prompts for grabbing them wasn't showing up in time. And by the time they do, this happens. Oh, by the way, if the prompts for the blocks do show up, just simply grab onto a block. No, I mean, not the prompts for the blocks. I meant the, water. That's what I meant to say. If the water starts showing up, just simply hop on the box, because the water will have the box submerged temporarily before it floats to the top. And of course, you can feel out where the box is. The HD version actually makes the box and the water a hell of a lot clearer, so yeah, there's that. I will give the HD version that, and also the HD version also has more boxes to work with. Alright. This is a foolish thing for me to do. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So, I will be right back when I have the answer. And we're back with the solution now. I have to spend because, of course, it's taking way too long, and I don't want to drag that out. So basically what you need to do is position the box the way I have them positioned, where one that's in the front of the room should be closest to the edge, the one in the back of the room should be closest to the edge, and the one should be dragged to the middle to where they form boxes of 2, so you can actually make leaps of faith over, so you can carry the torch without falling into the water. That's what you need to do. I skipped that because it took way too long, and of course, it would have been boring.
Yep.
And of course, as soon as I get the key, yellow choo-choo appears. And now that I have the key, there's nothing else to do in this section. Everything is on the other side. Which is all the more reason why I blew up the wall before I started the first 2 trials. Yeah, these are basically trials, but it's more along the lines of puzzle solving. This is as good as puzzle solving is going to get. Oh, by the way, there was a reason why I also managed to bring up Chateau Romani earlier, because the Great Bay Temple requires you to use a lot of magic. It doesn't, thankfully. However, it also allows you to use the ability you recently got outside of the Great Bay Temple, whereas this, you use all the weapons you got here. The difference is the key weapon that you need to actually complete this dungeon is deeper within the dungeon than the bow and arrows. At least the Great Bay Temple, you still have the bow and arrows by the time you get here, preferably the ice arrows, if you know what's good for you. Excuse me. Sorry, I got the tried to keep that on a low key here. And of course, in this room is a blue bauble, but not to mention the compass is not a red bauble. Why did I say blue bauble? That is so stupid of me. Those blue baubles are a pain in the ass though, and they are in this game. However, the red baubles are just as annoying. Unlike just randomly bouncing around in Ocarina of Time, they run into you and set you on fire. The blue baubles, however, are the real reason why the Earth Temple sucks. Anyway, this is the compass. Behind that wall, which you need the bow and arrows for, unfortunately, you'll be put in a place where once you get them, you won't be able to come back until after you completely deal with all the segments. What's behind there is actually a treasure chart, and I think that leads to rupees, I do believe. But you do need a torch. And past me is trying once again to see if he could actually hit it, completely forgetting that you need the bow and arrows. Well, at least you know that you cannot hit this with the boomerang. It is impossible. No matter what kind of speedrun stats is on YouTube, you need the bow and arrows. So, yeah. Let us go on ahead and not go back to the boat because we need to unlock the door. No, stupid. Get back over to... This is how people don't watch my videos. Sometimes I do the craziest things without thinking. There was another door past me. Turn around. There was another door. Turn around. There. Go back to the way you came. But that torch wasn't actually for the door. Actually, that torch was for another chest, which actually had a joy pendant in it. Now that I think about it. When I was recording this, I wasn't actually thinking too much into this. My bad. Just my bad. But I know what I'm doing, at least. To some degree. Otherwise, yeah, it would be really unprofessional of me. Of course, I fall to the water. And of course, Yellow Choo-Choo will jump in after me. Asshole. And now, for this. You're gonna have to swim to a high point so that you won't activate the drown meter. And more importantly, have to avoid the yellow choo-choos. The thing about the yellow choo-choos is they always drop red choo-choo jelly. And that's all they're gonna have, is red, green, and blue. That's it. Stop that! And the worst part about this is, even if you stun them, the water will actually unstun them. Really aggravating. But the good news is, at least we're almost done here. Oh, damn it! Of course. Die already, asshole! I think I killed it. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Ha! Just in the nick of time. Now let's swim over to the stairs. And now, we wait for the stairs to get unflooded. And take this pedestal out, and we will actually open the way further into the Tower of Gods. Again, as I said before, that torch actually leads to a joy pendant chest. Whereas what I just did lead the way to going further into the Tower of Gods. And of course, we're going to do that. Also, I forgot to mention, we do actually learn a new song here. That song is going to be used a lot during the last couple of dungeons. Well, specifically, the dungeons that require you to bring forth extra people, and also require you to traverse through. Particularly, the command song is actually, which is what we're going to be learning in a little bit once I get through this and get the dungeon treasure here. Well, no, I wouldn't say the dungeon treasure, but rather that treasure box over there. We are far from getting the dungeon treasure, trust me. But, as I was saying, before I slipped off and fell into the water, the command song is one of the reasons why the Earth Temple actually sucks. Because most of the time you're going to need it in the Earth Temple more than what you will in the Wind Temple. And it's primarily to control a certain someone and make sure that person is safe. Nonetheless, now it's time for us to cruise into this area, and afterwards we will no longer need the King of Red Lions. He's only there to get us through the first portions of this stage. It's a real neat idea to bring him in. This is like the only dungeon other than the Forsaken Fortress that he actually can go into. I mean, the island is technically a dungeon, to be honest. Anyway, there's Beamos. Unfortunately, to deal with Beamos, you need the Mirror Shield. Also, to deal with this switch over here, we're going to need the Armos Knight statues. So, we're going to have to go back and get them. Too bad we can't actually break those Beamos by talking about it. Assholes. Thankfully, we have soup, just in case I take too much damage. I will, by the way, just pointing that out. Set this here. And let's wait till it's looking the other way and grab the other statue, and then we can jump into the middle. Get used to seeing this puzzle, because this is going to be throughout the majority of this tower. Now, all we need to do is just climb up the levitating platforms. And also, be careful of the jumps. But more importantly, be careful of overshooting your mark and falling down the hole. Because you don't want that. Wait. In case you think there's something over there, No, there is not. I'm just going to point this out to you. There's nothing over there. This is basically here to bribe the rats and fall down the hole. But primarily, if you bribe the rats, there was supposed to be a treasure chest that was up there. Since I'm not, I'm just gonna go on ahead and go. And besides, what's in that treasure chest is probably nothing but some rupees, like either 20 or 10, I do believe. I'm not sure. But there was something that was supposed to be there. One of the things. That platform was basically for the bribe rats. That's it. Now then, we need to put a statue here on this pedestal. And see these pedestals? They're going to be important. Because the statues that we're going to be... Let's kill this first. As I was saying, they're going to be important because the statues that we are going to be bringing will end up lighting the way further into the dungeon area. I guess I won't be needing that. Yeah, but I will be needing that statue right there, and the only way to actually activate it is by pressing R to call it. Or if you're playing the Wii U version, you're going to be pressing the Z button or the ZR button. Because you're going to be using the actual console thing. Or should I say the control... Oh god, I forgot the name of the damn Wii U, oh, the control pad, that's what it is. Almost forgot the name of it. Oh, by the way, these statues, I almost forgot to mention one other thing about them. Since they're going to be the focus of the Tower of the Gods, it would be in your best interest not to have them fall into the cliff. If you do, oh, by the way, you gotta call them if they get stuck. But it would be in your best interest not to have these statues fall in the cliff, especially if you're using the command song. If you do, and they fall in the cliff, you will take damage. You know what? Screw these things. But keep a watch for these statues too, because not all the statues will be hollowed out where you can just pick them up and nothing will happen to you. No. They will eventually spawn to life and become Armos, which you will need the dungeon's item in order to beat. But as I was saying about these statues here, this first statue will actually open up the pedestal to learn the command song. But all of the statues, if you're trying to bring them to this area and they somehow end up falling into the cliff while you're under the command song's effect, you actually take damage. Now, one other thing I want to mention, this not only applies to statues, but this also applies to your buddies in the next two temples. The thing is, more so for the Earth Temple than for the Wind Temple. Oh, I screwed that one up. Come on, now it's going too fast. I think I got it this time. There we go. And that's the command melody. And we will continue our trek through the Tower of Gods in part 20. This is RV9985. See you guys next time as I use the command song, much to my dismay.